Welcome again to Life in the God Lane, and this is the power verse for the day for January 24th, 2022, and I call this No Idols. It's from Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 8. No idols. Hope you'll subscribe. Hit the little bell so you know every time I put one of these out. I put one out every day. A longer one, full-on message on Fridays, and power verses of the day every other day of the week. So I hope you do that. And we just teach the Bible, you know. And give me thumbs up, make comments. That helps. And send it to somebody. Tell somebody about it. Get them involved. Get them to look at it. So let's take a look at Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 8. You shall not make for yourselves an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. And then he says some other things about it, but that gets at the basics, and that's what I want to look at today. God commanded man to not make an idol out of anything in heaven, on earth, or in the waters below. Anything in creation, do not make an idol out of that. People in ancient times, and sometimes today, will make a statue like a Buddha or something like that, and then they will bow before it and they will worship it. The Egyptians worshipped golden calves, among other things. The calf was a god, a false god, and they made statues of that false god and worshipped that. And believe me, the Israeli people had been in Egypt for over 400 years, and they'd been exposed to that kind of worship. Remember that the Israelis had Aaron make a golden calf. They had this done while Moses was on the mountain for 40 days. They said, man, where is this guy? We're going to make our own God. And they had Aaron pop out a golden calf, create a golden calf. The calf was an Egyptian false god. Apis was his name. It was the bull god. I think it had something to do with fertility. So that was one of their idols in those days. So what is an idol today? Think of an idol like this. An idol can be anything you give your life to that assumes a position above God. I want to say it again. An idol can be anything you give your life to that assumes a position above God in your life. It assumes that position because you put it there. That's how you end up worshiping an idol. I knew two guys when I was in my teens, which is a long time ago, mid-60s. And these guys both elevated a girlfriend to a position of a god with a little g. Both guys were smart. Both guys had great futures. They're good guys. I knew them pretty well. I knew one of them extremely well. They would have lived long lives and had great lives, and they would have prospered. But one in 1966 and another in 1967 had breakups, problems with the girls that they elevated to God status, and they both drove their cars off the top of what was known as Oak Creek Canyon, still is, Oak Creek Canyon, committing suicide. Oak Creek Canyon is an area between Flagstaff and Sedona, Arizona. I spent a lot of time down there. The first guy was an acquaintance. I knew him. I played pool with him and drank some beer with him during the teen years when BC, before Christ, okay? Second guy was a good friend of mine. I hung out with him my whole life, knew him since I was 4 years old. But they both elevated girlfriends above God. They gave him idol status. Elevating anything to idol status will limit your capacity to prosper and can limit your life. Cost both of those guys their lives. And all of the prospering that they could have done throughout a life was cut short, way short. They were both, I believe, 17 years old. So what's the lesson? Make God your God. Elevate nothing above him, ever. No idols. God is God. You will prosper, you will do well, and you will live longer. I will see you tomorrow.